Illinois and Colorado governors announcing a national coalition of Democrat governors, nonpartisan, they said, to reject Donald Trump's administration.
The people that are so quick to say, oh, we need to have a shadow government, or we need to have some means to derail the will of the American people.
Yeah.
Those people hate the country.
That's right.
They hate the United States. They hate the form, the type of government that we have, the representative type of government that we have, that is ostensibly government by the people themselves.
That's right.
They hate the fact that there are limits placed on government. And at the very end of the day, they hate the American people.
That's right.
They hate the American people that were supposed to have sent them there, or that ostensibly have sent them there. They hate your average person. And I've said this is something that I've gone through multiple times in the past couple of days.
That's right. And you see this in the campaign. I saw this. It's the Republicans, this establishment. They don't even like Trump.
Yeah.
They don't even like, they don't like America First people.
Yeah.
I saw this. They picked their own Republicans against, me, a Republican. They picked their own people. They don't like this country either.
This has been going on for probably longer than a decade and a half, but it really came out in the open with Barack Obama, with they cling to their guns and their God. Then Hillary Clinton with the deplorables. Then Joe Biden said that MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of our nation. Then he called the average Republicans garbage.
Yeah, the race,
Trump
the race card too. They're pulling the race card
exactly.
Too.
Those are just the leaders that I've referenced. All of your Congress people on the left, all of your and people on the right sometimes are Republicans. All of the people in the Senate, they have been articulating that America is a bad place, that it's found in racism, that we're all bigots, we're all racist, we're all some type of deplorable person, somehow morally deficient, and they do that because they hate America.
Yeah. They project their own behavior too. Don't forget, their behavior is projected that way.
But I really do want to hit on that clip that you just showed. Let me ask you this. If the election had gone the other way, Tim, and you said that, I would expect that there's going to be a few people getting together, talking, they're going to be putting a tactical team together about how they're going to do a full breach on your place, and you're going to sit in prison. So
Trump should too.
It's just
this is sedition.
Yeah, it's just very interesting that they can get away with that, and they are so blind that they would actually have the gall to do that. It's crazy.
Another story that came up in the past couple of days is the Illinois and Colorado governors announcing a national coalition of Democrat governors, nonpartisan, they said, to reject Donald Trump's administration.
Right.
So I like to do what I call the time travel test.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 2018 and entertain the next 6 years. And I can already tell you, I know what the answer is. If in 2018, I said to you, they're going to impeach Donald Trump twice. On January 6th, 1,000 Trump supporters will be at the Capitol with a couple hundred smashing their way in and fighting with police. The media establishment, Democrats, will refer to this as the insurrection and the attempt by Donald Trump to overthrow the government. Donald Trump would then be impeached over this, where over the next several years, he would be accused of 34 felonies at the state level, a total of 91 criminal charges, found liable for criminal sexual assault. They will target him for prison in Georgia and accuse him in one federal case of trying to overthrow the election. Then he would win re-election, and we would see Democrats call for the formation of a shadow government to oppose his administration, and several governors would announce they will be forming a coalition to resist his policies. I tell you for a fact, people would say, Tim, you're a psychopath. Because in 2018, when I said, wow, The Atlantic says there's a 60% chance of civil war. They said, Tim, you're insane.
The DOJ should be knocking on that guy's door
I said,
as soon as Donald Trump gets into office.
That's right.
Back then, when we were looking at street-level violence, I was told by every single conservative and every beltway conservative personality and liberal, that's never going to happen, Tim. You are not going to have it. I want to stress right now, please just listen to how I've outlined the past 6 years. Trump was accused by the Democrats of trying to overthrow an election with an insurrection. Jamie Raskin in February of this year said, we will not certify him if he wins. And it'll be our job to tell his supporters who are marching through the streets he will not be president because he's ineligible under the 14th Amendment. Jamie Raskin said that.
I know he did.
Can we just mention right now? Look,
He's going to be on her testimony this week.
someone calling for a shadow government, a shadow cabinet to oppose Trump. And again, they're going to say, oh, it's just advocacy. No. If I were to have told you a year ago that Democrat governors would announce a coalition to oppose the federal government, they'd say that's never going to happen. When I've been talking about civil war for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's not an idea I came up with. It's in the corporate press, the mainstream media. A Princeton professor brought it up. A former CIA analyst wrote a book about it.
Yep.
And I said, oh, wow, all of this is interesting. Everyone kept saying the states aren't going to line up against each other. It's never going to happen.
Right.
And in 2020, we had Texas v. Pennsylvania, where the states lined up against each other over the election. Now we have, at the bare minimum, the formation of a national coalition of nonpartisan governors to reject the popular mandate. This is states lining up against each other.
Right.
For all I know, and I say this every time, it all fizzles away. Trump gets in, he cleans things up, and everything's fine.
Yeah.
But as of right now, much to my actual surprise, I did not even expect this.
Yeah.
No.
The idea that someone would go in Congress and say shadow government, and governors would say it's time to line up against Trump and form a coalition.
Right.
I
wouldn't have seen that coming.
Right.
The DOJ should go to
Yeah.
is whoever, I don't know, we haven't picked or he hasn't announced who he's going to put in charge of the FBI, but the FBI should send agents to that congressperson's house, and he should be arrested.
Yeah.
They would arrest a conservative if they did it. They did go to the president's. They went to Mar-a-Lago over classified documents that Joe Biden also had, that Hillary Clinton had. Donald Trump needs to be the president that they were afraid he was going to be, and all he needs to do is enforce the existing law.
They want to incite violence. You got to understand, they've been trying to do. Look at the burning out, when we were out in Spokane, out in Portland years ago, and I mean they want to incite the violence. They're trying to incite the violence.
I want to make this point. I'm not saying that he should do anything unlawful.
Oh no!
Everything that I'm saying he should do is completely legal. But Donald Trump was too timid when he was in office the first time because he was afraid of what the people would say. He was afraid of coming down too hard on the rioters and et cetera. He needs to disabuse himself of that notion. Right. He needs to enforce the law, the existing law on the books. He needs to use the DOJ to enforce the law, and he needs to pick up that congressperson for sedition.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's advocating for. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Advocating for he did it. He might be protected because he was on the floor of Congress for saying that. He might be. Yeah. Right. I'm not 100% positive, but anyone that is making those kind of moves, trying to incite, trying to create those kind of conditions, that is sedition.
Well, we can't be such nice guys anymore.
No, not at all.
That's
not
at all. And and I got to talk. Christians were built for battle. This country was built on a Judeo-Christian values. It is a biblical documents, and that's what these founding fathers did. And you got to understand, we were built for battle. I mean, I know the Irish were. Believe me, I come from an Irish Catholic family, and I'm telling you something. That's one of the reasons that we fight, because we are not going to stop.
You know what? On top of all of this, there's a funny tweet in response to this post. This guy Winston says, "So let me get this straight. We have accused them of running a shadow government deep state for years, and now they're just coming out in the open admitting it." Well, actually, the New York Times already ran an article that said the deep state is kind of cool. There is an article from Newsweek. John Bolton has called for the weaponization of the DOJ against Matt Gaetz and Tulsi Gabbard because they don't want them to get in to Trump's cabinet. Whoa. So let's clarify this.
Prosecute.
Matt Gaetz is accused of no wrongdoing. Mm-hmm. Tulsi Gabbard is accused of no wrongdoing. Yep. And John Bolton said, send the FBI after them.
Arrest and prosecute. I mean, honestly.
That is, they have.
Why
he's a warmonger,
would they
too.
That, right? You have to ask yourself, this is what the American people need to say. Why is John Bolton afraid of Tulsi Gabbard and Matt Gaetz?
That's right.
Why is the intel community afraid of these people? Why are people at HHS afraid of RFK?
Right.
Who's afraid of Bobby Kennedy? Really? What's going on here? So people just need to kick in their critical thinking and be like, hey, what's going on here? And if this was reversed, what would be happening today. Because I can assure
we
you.
know there would be doors being kicked in. They put Roger
Exactly.
Stone in jail.
Yes.
There was a
Steve
guy
Bannon
that
in jail.
they put Steve Bannon in jail.
You guys would be in jail.
There was a guy that was
Tina Peters. Look at her, this poor woman. They
yeah.
gotta
I mean,
get her out of there.
There have been people killed in raids.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.